All right, Shalom Akyam, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Harakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the Akyam out there doing the work of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, in truth, faith, and in sincerity. This is your brother Taza Pop back with another lesson. And this one I got a video that I want to go into with you, Akyam. And the title of the video is Bye Bye Middle Class America, and it's from the Nomad Economist. And it's just going into the state of America as it, pertains to its economic status, and which is, the quote apostle, the chief apostle Tahar, is CTD. The state of America economically is CTD, and that's circling the drain. And that's, I'm saying economically, but that goes for morally, that goes for spiritually, that goes across the board. America, the state of America is dire, drastic. It's deplorable. And this video just gives you some figures and gives you some stats that you can work with, some real-time stats. Outside of the fake lies that they put out there, that deception that they put out there. So we're gonna kick it off right here before we get into the video, and this is Proverbs chapter 13, verse 18. It says, poverty and shame shall be to him that refuseth instruction. And true instruction comes from the scriptures, the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's true instruction. That's real instruction. So it said, poverty and shame shall be to him that refuseth instruction. And has not America refused instruction? Most High sent forth his servant, the prophets. And what did they do? They mock and scoff, and even go beyond that, try to fight and kill the prophets of the Most High just for giving them instruction. You got the powers that be that censor the videos, they take down pages, delete accounts of brothers that are preaching the truth, giving this world instruction. So, yeah, poverty is here. It's not coming, it is here. And, this is a powder keg building. And people are already, stressed the hell out. Pressure from above, pressure from below. We got a saying, you brothers might have heard of it, pressure busts a pipe. Meaning, pressure has to go somewhere, as it builds and builds. A pipe may be manufactured to a specific PSI, which is, what is that? Pounds per square inch of pressure in PSI. So it can hold up to that much. Let's say it's 1,000 PSI that pipe was built for. So if you put 1,500 PSI on that pipe, it's going to destroy that pipe. And it's going to be chaos. And you don't want to be around that pipe when it gives way. Well, that's what we got brewing here in America. This pressure is building and building and building. And, people feeling the squeeze. Again, pressure from above, pressure from below. And all this pressure has to go somewhere. And it's going to erupt as it is doing. Politically, you're going to see racial tensions rise. These race riots, more Jake on Jake violence. So these niggas out here shooting each other, man. Behind money, some of it is just behind shit. It's Jake out here bugged out and stressed the hell out. Jake on edge, like the song, don't push me cause I'm close to the edge. Jake on the edge, and any little thing will set him off. So, you cut him off in that parking lot, on the highway. Road rage is at an all-time high, and a lot of it is due to this economic, this manufactured economic downturn that America and the world is experiencing. But hey, there it is again. Poverty and shame shall be to him that refuseth instruction. But he that regardeth reproof shall be honored. And that goes to, those of us who are struggling and striving to keep the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai to the best of our ability, man. You know, Abarataza, Lord willing, we will be honored, provided that we endure unto the end. So, without any further ado, let's play some of this beautiful bean footage.
Less than $3,000 a month, you have plenty of company, because about half of the country is in the exact same boat. The Social Security Administration just released
I'm in that boat. I'm definitely in that boat.
new wage statistics for 2019, and they are pretty startling. To me, the most alarming thing in the entire report is the fact that the median yearly wage was just $34,248.45 last year. In other words, half of all American workers made less than $34,248.45 in 2019, and half of all American workers made more than $34,248.45. That isn't a whole lot of money. In fact, when you divide $34,248.45 by 12, you get just $2,854.05. Needless to say, it is not easy to survive in America today on just $2,854.05 a month, and this may help to explain why we have been seeing so many people fall out of the middle class in recent years. And of course, all of the figures that I am sharing with you in this video are just for 2019. This year, we have seen more than 63 million Americans file new claims for unemployment benefits as the U.S. economy has imploded during this pandemic, and so the final wage numbers for 2020 could be quite a bit worse than the numbers for 2019 were. Please keep that in mind as you go through the rest of this video. Once upon a time in America, a single income could easily support a middle-class household in most cases, but those days are long gone. The cost of living has been rising far faster than our paychecks have, and as a result many Americans have been working themselves to the bone just to survive financially from month to month.
And that's due to a term called inflation. You understand? And inflation comes from the chief source of inflation is the Federal Reserve Bank, which institutes what they call fractional reserve banking. And fractional reserve banking is basically uh, just to put it simply, to make money out of thin air. I can't think of the proper term, but this is how it works. If you have, let's say, $100,000 on reserve, you can multiply that by 10 and put that on your books as having that amount of money. So 100,000 would yield, what would that be? 1 million. And so now you got $1 million that you could lend out. So that 900,000 is lent out on usury. It's created. That's the term, created out of thin air, based on fractional reserve banking. This is why the whole system is imploding. This is all deceit and fraud. You understand? And it cannot be sustained. It really is a pyramid scheme, and it cannot be sustained. But yeah, that's how fractional reserve banking works. However much uh, collateral you have on hand, you can multiply that times 10. So again, that 100,000 would yield, you could put on your books that you have $1 million, and you can loan it to people. Well, all those dollars outside of that 100, like I said, that 900 is lent upon usury, or that's inflated money. Put it that way. That is inflated. You just put $900,000 of inflated money out into the market. Well, this is done on a massive scale. You know, this is done to the tunes of billions, hundreds of billions of dollars. yearly by the Federal Reserve. No, before the Federal Reserve banking system was put in act, the inflation didn't exist. There was no inflation. So this is what's going on. While she stated that there was a time long gone now, but well, just the father had to work. A single income home could, take care of itself. Raise the kids, put them through college, get the car for the wife. The husband had a car to get back and forth to work, and then they had disposable income to go on vacations and do shit like that. And of course, eating put clothes on the children, and the missus back. One income, just the father working, you know. And again, that's long gone, but this is Isaiah 32 and verse 7. The instruments also of the churl are evil. He devised wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speak it right. So this Federal Reserve banking system is an instrument of the churl. And churl just means niggardly, a miserly, stingy type of person. So they devised these instruments, and what they do is destroy wealth of the people. It actually it's an instrument for theft. That's exactly what the Federal Reserve banking system is. It's an instrument of theft. This is why the middle class is imploding, you know, outside of the fact that the Most High is orchestrating all this. This falls in line with prophecy. You see? But this is what's happening.
To give you an idea of just how bad things have gotten, I would like to share with you some key numbers from the report that the Social Security Administration just released. Minus 32.26% of American workers made less than $20,000 last year. Minus 44.79% of American workers made less than $30,000 last year. Minus 56.46% of American workers made less than $40,000 last year. Minus 65.91% of American workers made less than $50,000 last year. Today, the poverty level for a household of 5 in the United States is $30,680. That means that close to half of all workers in this country do not even make enough to get a family of 5 above the poverty level. Wow. There are tens of millions of Americans that are referred to as the working poor because they are living in poverty even though they are employed and are working extremely hard. Many of you that are watching this video know exactly what I am talking about. Some of you are working way more than 40 hours a week, and yet there never seems to be enough.
I know exactly what he's talking about, you understand? And the scripture speaks to that as well, So, and we'll get the verses on that. Matter of fact, let's get it right now. Okay. So this is all right, Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. You understand? So even though we may not have, an abundance of these Federal Reserve notes, we are rich in faith, rich in the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And again, Revelation 2 and 9, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan. So the point there being, the men of the Lord ain't going to be rich. It might be some brothers that's well-to-do or well off, but we're not going to be rich to where we got millions sitting on reserve somewhere. And if that's the case, if a brother got it like that, you need to spread the wealth. Because as the scripture says, how does it go? Proverbs 11 and 24. There is that scatter it and yet increase it. And there is that withholdeth more than is meet, but it tended to poverty. You understand? So if there's a brother that's sitting in, on an overabundance of Federal Reserve notes, man, scatter it among the brotherhood. And the scriptures say, and yet you will increase it. But it says, and there is that withholded more that is meat. You hoarding like Esau, hoarding money, withholding more that is meat. You just got money just sitting in the bank collecting dust. It really ain't, it's being put to use for Esau's purposes. And that's why the scripture says, but it tended to poverty. You understand? But that don't apply to us in this truth. Most of the guys that, that have some type of money, they eventually fall off. But hey, that's the way it goes, man. Yahweh Shai said it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven. Paraphrasing, but yeah, let's go back and let's finish this video out.
Enough money at the end of the month. Sadly, the truth is that our system has evolved in a manner that makes it almost impossible for most Americans to ever build up much wealth. If you are making the median monthly wage of just $2,854.05, there simply is not going to be much left over after all of the bills are paid. First of all, you are going to need some place to live. In the middle of the country you may be able to find something habitable for under $1,000 a month, but in most of our major metropolitan areas that simply is not going to be realistic. Secondly, you are going to need to pay your utility bills. If you can keep the combined cost of your power, water, phone, television and internet bills to about $250 a month, you are doing quite well. Thirdly, you will need a vehicle in order to get around, and these days it is hard to buy or lease a vehicle for less than $300 a month. In addition, you will also need insurance, and that will set you back even more. Fourthly, you will need health insurance. If you are young and single, maybe you can find a plan for just a few $100s a month, but most Americans pay far more. Fifthly, you will probably want to eat, and that will cost you several $100s a month as well. At this point almost all of your money is already gone, and there are so many expenses that I haven't even mentioned yet. And of course you never even started with $2,854.05 in the first place, because all sorts of taxes were taken out of your paycheck before you even got it. Are you starting to understand why so many families in America are deeply struggling today? We have an economy that works for those at the very top of the food chain, but pretty much everyone else is desperately trying to stay afloat. And now we have entered an economic downturn during which tens of millions of Americans have lost their jobs. According to John Williams of Shadowstats.com, if honest numbers were being used, the real unemployment rate in the US would be 26.9% right now, and that would rival the worst levels that we witnessed during the Great Depression of the 1930s. Others have come up with similar numbers. For example, Axios is reporting that the true unemployment rate in the United States.
And that's my estimate. That's been my estimate, that it's somewhere around 30%, but yeah, that 26 is far more believable than that BS of 6, 7%, 5%. So, and this is what I wanted to one of the last statistics that I want to bring out of this video. So yeah, he said, I believe at first 26.9. And then they're showing 26.1. So, that's at least a quarter of the, percentage of Americans that are out of work or underemployed.
26.1%. A person who is looking for a full-time job that pays a living wage, but who can't find one, is unemployed. If you accept that definition, the true unemployment rate in the US is a stunning 26.1%, according to an important new dataset shared exclusively with Axios on HBO. No matter how you want to crunch the numbers, everyone should be able to agree that millions upon millions of Americans are really hurting financially and are deeply concerned about the future. And they have good reason to be concerned about the future, because our economic system is in the process of imploding. For decades, the greatest debt bubble in the history of the world allowed us to enjoy a level of debt-fueled prosperity that was far greater than we actually deserved. Now the party is ending, and our society is going to experience an enormous amount of pain as everything changes. This was the Nomad Economist. Please like, share.
And there you have it, man. The Most High is bringing America to its knees, man, financially, spiritually, morally, and in any way you can imagine. All right. In Proverbs chapter 30, verse 8 says, "Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with the food convenient, or with food convenient for me." And the food that is convenient for us is this truth. But the thing is, the Most High is going to have his servants, the prophets, right there in the middle. You know, we're not going to be rich, but he's not going to have us in dire economic straits either. We're not going to be in poverty to where we can't do the job that he has set us up to do. You understand? So, you know, you got to have internet in some shape, form, or fashion or another. If it's just on your phone, you got to be able to pay that phone bill. Uh, you need a roof over your head, and you know, just the things that go with that. You got to eat. So the Most High is not going to have his servants in poverty, but yet America is falling into poverty. So we're being upheld by the Spirit as long as we remain in the faith and faithful. So yeah, I just wanted to share some of those statistics, man. America is done. Again, CTD circling the drain. Most High's flushing this bitch. Hey, to the next one, you